Social media is one of the biggest wastes of times. I mean, I like to do things that are satisfying and fulfilling. I know how to create, and so that's what I'm doing. I think when I get up to video 3000, something will start to appear out of it. I know how to work with you just have to keep working and so um but social media is one of the most it's such an alarming thing that I would suggest for all of humanity. I would be all for it. I would love it to happen that but by the millions that they just drop it and go to an open field somewhere, a desert, and just go there and sit, not with cell phones or anything, but just sit there and go, what in the fuck is happening to everybody? That's not just like something you say as a concept. It's because you know. See, I would be one of those people. Um, it's mainly because of the EMF waves that see, this is how they target people like you and me. Maybe you like human interaction. Maybe you like to see somebody expressing themselves. It's weird. It's like I'm an Aquarius moon, and all Aquariuses, they don't really like people. They can care less, and they don't have the energy or time for a lot of individuated horse shit. But then again, they can't do without people. It's all about that friend and who are they, and but they're always disenfranchised, right? That's kind of like their karma. It's like that fucking person. What kind of a friend was that? Or I need. Well, aren't you? I thought you were a friend. They're always about this friends thing. It rules friends in our astrological natural chart when Aries starts at the first house, like me. See, I think that when Pluto, if I'm just being as earnest as possible, and I'm never going to give up my main secrets, no way. But of course, it's a little bit of an act. You'll see some of the YouTube Shauna come out in person, Um, uh, but the truth is, people, especially really good artists, they have many different personalities, and that's just a healthy human being. People have such the wrong um, idea about that. Why? Because they're just misinformed. They just jump at first of all language that's being used, and psychology uses these terms differently, and then the narcissist or somebody who's ignorant runs down the street with it and says, "Oh yes, what do they call it? Multi-personality dysfunction or something like that." And it's like, well, no, what are we talking about? Tourette's or, um, but you're a different person like 26 times out of the day, probably. It could be really slight, like say that you have a job and you're working at a bowling alley, and then you step out and smoke a cigarette, and somebody sees you and you wave hi, and you're just a completely different. They don't even know that you work at the bowling alley, so and you know that too, and you don't even want to work at the bowling alley. I mean, you're that person and that person too, and then you go home and you're that person, and then your kid walks in and now you're that person, you know. And then an emergency happens, and now what kind of a person are you? We really want to see what's under there when real live things start happening. That's what's really cool about some persons. You're like, this character doesn't fucking quit. It's like Aries, myself. You wouldn't you wouldn't know us until we are hot on the spot like that, and interacting. I imagine great to work with. They get a lot done industrially. Um, Impressive. They have just nothing but energy, and they give you energy anyway. Enough about me and you. Everybody has energy like that, but Aries is known. Why did I pick on that? Well, I'm an Aries rising. Anyway, that's what you see. That's what you get. That's what's trying to be aspected very well by the Venus, but it happens to be the Venus is squaring my moon, and it's like, okay, so I'm fine. I'm fine as long as I'm in my domestic scene. That's the moon ruled thing. And so, but then here comes Venus. No, your domestic scene. You too are going to be affected by the big fat fucking Leo ego bullshit nightmare where you, honey, just mention it a few times. Just tell them, I smell asphalt now when I wake up in the morning. That's all I smell. It's wafting. I can actually feel like this gas on me. It makes me sick. It's making my stomach ill. Not just the thought that you that you chose that material to come down here, and we can just, man, we can go on and on about, like, really, what are you going to do here? Are you going to have a drive-through going? Do you plan on having mileage happen as far as tires running on there more so than what has actually slowed down? I already wrote all this on my fucking page, and I don't want to have to deal with this. This is where I'm thinking, was I saying anything else that should distract me about it? Something that can distract me away from it. See, this is what I want to know. Can somebody please tell me? You won't, if you hate me or something. I don't know. I'm trying to convince myself, okay, so Shauna, this is the deal. Those 6 truckloads of fucking asphalt that you can smell, and the whole thing is like, I'm telling you, it is grotesque. This guy is slowing down. What I mean is, I already wrote a bunch of stuff on, and what I'm saying is just an observation. It's like, okay, so some people, and I noticed this, it's like, I'm sorry, I'm the kind of person, it's like, okay, I just have been using one bowl to do everything, and you people have like 96 bowls. I'm not trying to compare and say, well, deprive yourself and be like me and be miserable. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying somebody's being wasteful, doesn't have enough stress to experience, well, maybe you should tighten up a little bit and don't waste energy like that, and especially let things grow around you. Stop driving over it. What's my answer for me? It's since I saw this, and there's a lot going on too. It's a lot more, but this is like, here, Shauna. This is what they mean by, but by the time when it comes to your doorstep, now what? This is what they mean. It's like, oh, wait, I have to adjust. My neighbors can care less about the environment that I am here for. I came up here for the mountains. It's a wilderness area. The guy on the other side, my new neighbor, every conversation I have with him is, I'm puzzled. I'm like, okay, so this person, I wonder if he had those vaccines. I mean, where is he coming from? And did that make sense? No, it didn't really. I thank God that I say the things the way I do and said it, because it's almost like I'm forethoughting, and I can hear his mind thinking, wait a minute, she said this, and that would plug into all of the things, all of the questions that he has about what just happened. I'm thinking, where is this person coming from? And he's wondering, what just happened? Because I answered everything that he had a question for, thinking probably 2 hours later. I'm not fucking kidding. And so I haven't had a really good connection, and they think I'm crazy now or something. And we're lucky to have each other if we can work out for each other. And I'm not saying that I'm not working out for these people. They're not working out for me. And what I mean is like, okay, so I'm not. See, it's not a big deal that you get along with me, and I like you, and we're rubbing elbows, and you're receiving my zucchinis, and then you give me a break or whatever the fuck you have. Nothing. You have so much money, and you don't see anything I need. I got bags up the top of the driveway. I'm making my own sandbags and a little tiny bit of asphalt, and these people are spending how much on your fucking asphalt over there? I just fucking put that together just now. See, I'm an Aries rising, babe. I'm an Aries, and Aries is, they're in danger of making your entire nervous system sick. This has been happening for me over the past year. I've been having to deal with a real live attack on my nervous system, and it has nothing to do with anything other than, well, I've had a lot of stress. I nearly starved to death, but then on top of it, yeah, the anger. I've had problem with anger. Well, that's just a chemical imbalance. You need fucking food and you need love, and really, I don't want to go into this is part of my Neptune, Venus, going back, looking at it, the pity party thing that comes up, that it's just, you are not going to get help, babes. If you are really ascending and you're trying to rise up, If somebody came there and looked closely, or they're probably dragging you down there because they couldn't align with you beforehand. What are they doing there now? They're just there for your downtime, and this is all just like, you're just like, it's like, I don't want this kind of birthday party. No way. Nope. Not something a little bit fishy about this, and then, oh wow, you want to have a romantic situation, and that's fine. I try to work through, and I don't think everything, every union is a perfect thing. This is the thing. It's like, we make each other better. You have to give love a chance. I mean, you're miserable, and then when you see that there's an effect that somebody has on you that's positive, don't get rid of that person. Get rid of yourself, whatever it is that is disallowing that connection to be there. And I was just about to say, to hang on and string you out, like pretty much some people irresponsibly will do, as far as the fact that maybe just you, not me. I'm just toying with shit. I don't do anything. I drink green stuff. Okay, so it's time for you. You see clear. You're like, oh, I need a partner. I need a lifeline partner. To a narcissist, that's like, well, what kind of situation is it? What kind of situation can we be stuck in? What kind of situation can I prey on? It's like, can you just deal with that? We're happy with what we are, and anything's possible in the moment. Have you ever moved into that relaxed space saying, I am capable of handling this moment now? I don't have to talk about my shitty fucking job, because that's not me. Talk about this, all the kinds of yous. What are you when you're decompressed and just sitting there? Can you fucking be handled can you sit there and be fully content and say, I have achieved. There isn't anything more or less than ever this. I mean, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'm calm and relaxed. I'm happy with myself. It doesn't matter if I do it. It doesn't matter what the results are. When I do it because it feels good. I'm in it for the journey. Here we are. What next? Wow. Look at this place you have, Shauna. Sure, you want to replace the toilet in your upstairs. It's a see that my pet peeve with that toilet is I love that fucking toilet. Why? I'll go measure it. It's hardly a foot and a half off the ground, and that's the way you're supposed to be turning. If you're a healthy human being and if you want a healthy, there's a certain way you're supposed to be, like, you're supposed to be almost have your knees in your armpits. Really. But a commode, that one that is going to allow you to have a healthy bowel movement, will have your knees up above your waist a bit. But you'll see that a lot of stuff isn't geared for that, especially in the United States. Why? Well, many reasons. Most of those handicapped fucking looking cow moving through the cattle crawl over there can't sit down like that. They couldn't get up or something like that. It would be a hazard. And so you notice all of the grab bars around the toilets, and then yeah, they got to be kind of. I mean, really, ideally, they should just be standing up and then shit, and then something will hose them down and then whip it out. Yeah, I'm just kidding. At least I made myself laugh. Woo! I gotta get out of here. People can give a fuck. They think I'm crazy. I'll find my people. So I was trying to say, in Pluto, humanity will find its people. You have to. It's either that or you're gonna find. Yeah, you're gonna find. You have to know that not everybody is for you, and you're gonna have to know right alongside of your people. You're gonna notice, oh, and those aren't my people, and that's not my person. That's sure not them, and I'm sorry, but I'm never gonna be able to help you, and you're certainly not gonna be there for me, and because you'll just know your tribe. Somebody like me with Pluto going through the Aquarius house, there's only one way for me to go, and that's to be kind of like really sincere, be vulnerable, be as hardy as. Now, the thing that I have going for me is that I'm Plutonian. It's like saying I'm a Scorpio, but Scorpios wish that they had Sun conjunct Mars conjunct Pluto. Scorpios wish that they had that much Scorpio influence that I do, babes. Incredibly not sexy, not at all. You don't hear about anything, and they do not. handle the primal energies with grace, and in fact they're not built to help you with your transformation through some of those base like attractions. If in case there was a magnetism, there isn't any here. In fact, it's not all magnetism. Trying to clarify how my name is Sally Jed Johnson and I drive a yellow van out here in Nebraska. Sorry, there is a Mercury aspect out there happening. It's a Mercury um, backwards, and a lot of times people think that that's a negative thing. But have you noticed that things are just kind of clicking, like actually started maybe working? You know, that's the nature of the Virgo thing that's happening right now. Intense new moon coming up, as a matter of fact, helping. I hope that I'm helping with the sweeping of the subconscious mind. You know, that's what you're doing. You're trying to rest that thing up when you're watching television. But it would help if you heard material that helped you with like what's happening with the cosmic rays. Like, did you know that there's a new moon? That's what's happening. You know, it's not the TV. Turn that thing off and try to feel the cosmic waves, because that new moon is at like 21 degrees and it's trine Uranus. There's a beautiful Earth trine that's so peaceful and wonderful. You know, it's like, see, I have to take care of myself. I can't let shit like this, what's going on. See, that's his choice to put that ugly thing down. It's my choice to make sure that he knows that it's making me sick, and it's pretty much so disappointing that I'm going to be moving, and I'm going to make it a point to just, I would love. See, I have some money. I could do it all right now. I could do it so fast it would be blinding. I would cut down every tree here. I would pay some guys to come and cut it down. I would also, they would pay me to take the wood away. Then I would see how much it costs to pave my whole entire place, just solid blacktop. This is before I leave. I don't want to live here anymore, so but I want to make it suitable for the residences around me. It's gonna sell for at least $1.5 million with that, because it's ready to put in the goddamned ferals with a bowling alley, and right on the creek here, Hilton Prime um, overnight stays. This is just before they paved the creek, and babe, I'm so gone to Africa. In a place where people know that's like, can you believe the fucking fragmented bunch of absolute stark rating steaming bullshit that's happening out there right now? The more sensitive we get and the more we want to just be all that we can be, the more we feel it encroaching. It's like we ended up here, and thank God you heard us, Shauna. Remember the time when you heard us from the chickens who said, all you need to do is trust these wings. Look at how the hen said, I'm here, but I'm not here. Trust me.